my day out here.
Yeah.
I have a very persistent group of swallows that are trying to build a nest up here with their mud. We got one on the back, but this one I'm trying to keep away. In the pavilion, there's a robin's nest, and they've taken it over, and the top part now is a mud. Mud.
You're trying to keep them away.
This one.
Yeah. Oh, just because it's the entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the mud keeps falling off of bears.
You say, otherwise you want them because they're going to eat the bugs.
I'm waiting for all the dragonflies, and they're so abundant once they start coming out.
Yeah.
There have been a few different birds, including a couple of sharp-tailed grouse and a pair of gulls on the pond. So yeah, I like this area here. Where's everybody from?
We're from Wisconsin.
Neighbors to where I'm originally from, Minnesota.
Grew up in Minnesota.
Oh, did you?
From Kentucky now.
Well, welcome to the Yukon River here. I'm with the Bureau of Land Management. And as you go north from here, you can see a lot of different colors here on the map, and a variety of different land managers, including the state of Alaska, so the land adjacent to the Dalton Highway and the Alaska pipeline, managed by the state of Alaska, and all the way up here to the oil fields at Prudhoe Bay. Here off to the east is the Yukon Flats National Wildlife Refuge and the Knudie National Wildlife Refuge. You see all that water? It's a big waterfowl production area, but also important area for the people that live in these places, both for their fishing and hunting and trapping and berry picking, different things that are important to their sustenance. Up here to the east, much further up, this is the heart of the central part of the Brooks Range and the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge all the way over to the Canadian border. Back in 1991, I started as a seasonal ranger at Gates of the Arctic National Park. When I was just a little tyke back in Minnesota, I'd put up my tent and take my sleeping bag out into the tent in the middle of January and sleep for multiple nights out in the tent. I have 10 brothers and sisters. Not a one of them joined me out in the tent. But great fortune brought me to Gates of the Arctic National Park, a truly wilderness park. And much like myself, when I came and started as a seasonal in June of 1991, green and greener, warm and warmer, and buggier. But the more defining season, of course, up here is called winter. Then you'll see the Bureau of Land Management, or the yellow lands, as well as the National Petroleum Reserve, which is a large land unit in the northwestern part of the state. And a lot of the more recent interest in oil leases is up in the National Petroleum Reserve. And most recently, the Pitka project, and in a couple of years then the Willow project will come online, and got to keep oil in that pipeline out there, which at the height of the production would have been about 2 million barrels a day going down the pipe. Now it's less than 500,000, but more oil is coming online. Designed and thought that the Prudhoe Bay reservoir of oil was about 30 years. Now it's going on 50 years, and they do a good job with monitoring it and maintaining it and keeping an eye on it. So kind of the lifeblood of Alaska. Won't be too many years if things go well for the state that there'll be a natural gas pipeline, but could be a ways off before that brings the natural gas off to the north slope of Alaska. So a lot of different land management, but then equally important are some of the native lands, and a lot of that adjacent to the villages. So along the Yukon River, upriver from here is Stevens Village, and downriver is the village of Rampart. And the be folks that come here to the bridge, and that way they can go back to Fairbanks, bring up supplies, and then get it up and down the river with river boats, and in the wintertime, there are snow machines. So as much as it was very important transportation corridor during the gold rush back at the turn of the century, it's still very important. And I don't know if the barge was there, but there's a ramp on the other side, and the barge that right now has been moving materials from a gas and oil exploration site upriver. They're bringing all the materials out after last year. They took it all up there and drilled one well in their exploration, but yeah, this summer it's all coming back out. But
Did they find what they were looking for?
well, I'm suspecting not what they were hoping for.
Got it, okay.
But I haven't actually heard. I can't imagine with one well when they're planning two for sure. I think it was more not what we were hoping for.
Yeah,
So hope they went.
there's a lot of stuff for one well.
It's amazing, and yeah, they're very efficient though at getting it out of here. I can tell you that. Anybody have any questions about the area or where you're heading to? I'm assuming up to the Arctic Circle, and so this time of year, of course, it's 24 hours of daylight, and on December 21st, of course, the sun doesn't come above the horizon further to the north from there. I'm much more winter-driven than summer-driven. Not. This is plenty warm for me. And,
When was the Aurora? Real Auroras, when did they
until we get to the latter part of August and into September, before we'll get back to true darkness. I mean, the Aurora, it can be ever present, but with the light, you're not going to be able to see it at this time of the year. So yeah, we have to get into the latter part of August. September can really be a nice month because often the weather kind of stabilizes and the nights are beautifully clear. So March is another time where a lot of visitors, as many people come into Fairbanks in the winter now for the Aurora as they do in the summertime. And Northern Alaska Tour Company do a lot of tours both up to the Arctic Circle and to Coldfoot, because the Brooks Range is under the Aurora Oval, plus you have the magnetic draw of the Brooks Range, and then you have the valley walls of the mountains, so it kind of picture frames the Aurora. It's really stunning to see the Aurora. Oh, I don't have I sold out the Aurora calendar, so with a couple of the pictures. Yeah, there are a lot of people and photographers that will travel up the road, and the road in some ways, of course it's dark and cold, but the potholes are all kind of glazed in with a hard pack of ice and snow. You wouldn't have so much of the dust, and certainly you wouldn't have the mud. Not quite as much traffic, so in a lot of ways the road is actually better shape than it would be in the summertime.
As long as it's not actively snowing, I like it a lot
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
I like it a lot better
There's
than
a lot of
the winter
truth to
road. Yeah.
Yeah, and when it's 40, 50 below, even if there is kind of that hard pack, at that temperature there's still as much traction as you get on really just about any road. So
Shall we go see the river?
yeah, just down the way, a nice little walk. These are wildlife ones.
ever like sunlight at all up here?
Doesn't look good in the photo.